main focus is going to be analyzing increasing and decreasing behavior. You talked about this last year in Algebra 2. You also did positive intervals and negative intervals, but we're just going to focus on increasing, decreasing, constant, and average rate of change. So first of all, a couple things to remember are a graph is read left to right. When writing these intervals, you need to go from left to right, obviously, so low to high. You're basically saying what x values have y values that are increasing, decreasing, or constant. And it's kind of it. So let's do an example. Identify when the graph is all of the above. Identify when the graph is increasing, decreasing, or constant. So let's make a graph. I'm going to do 3 by 3. Okay, and then I'm going to have an open circle at 1, -2. It's going to touch 1, +2. And then I'm just going to make it a little parabola. Oops. Not the best, but that's okay. And then let's have 2, 1. To 4, 1. Alright, so looking at a graph, when is it increasing? Decreasing? And constant? And we use interval notation. So from left to right, it is increasing. Right here, right, it's getting higher. So as what x values have values that are increasing, it's going up. So from when x is, well, there's an arrow, so -infinity, until we get to -1. And then it's no longer increasing. For decreasing, it's going to be -1 to 1. And it's constant from 2 to 4. Why do we use soft brackets? Because a point by itself can't be increasing, decreasing, or constant. It's just there. It just exists. So that's why we use soft brackets. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is the average rate of change, which we also talked about last year. Okay, so average rate of change is basically slope, right? So average rate of change is the ratio change in x over change in y. Sorry, change in y over change in x. Sorry, tired. This is the same as slope. Of a line segment between 2 points so x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2 over a given interval. Your interval is going to be from x1 to x2. So if you forget the slope formula, we'll go over it in just a second. So let's do an example. So how much space do I need? Because we can just try to make it work. So let's do determine the average rate of change over the interval to 7. Given the function f of x equals x squared minus 6x plus 6. So the first thing you want to do is figure out your coordinate points. So if this is the interval, then this is x1 and this is x2. So I know one of my coordinate points is 4 comma something, and my other coordinate point is 7 comma something. So to figure out the y values, I'm going to substitute 4 into my equation, and I believe you get -2, and then we're going to substitute 7 to our equation, and I believe you get 13. So now that we have our coordinate points, the second thing we do is the formula, which I'm going to be okay. You could either write change in y over change in x, or y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or your book says f of x1 minus f of x2 divided by x1 minus x2. These all literally mean the exact same thing. So pick one that you're comfortable with and then show your work. So you have to start with one of these, substitute in, so 13 minus -2 over 7 minus 4. So 13 minus -2 is 15. 7 minus 4 is 3, and that reduces to 5. So the average rate of change over the interval is 5. And that's it. Make sure you show your work. I know a lot of us can do this in our head, but I want to see you find the points, and I want to see a formula of some sort. You substitute it into your formula, you simplify your formula.